There is the one guy that patrols. He's super nice.
You say the one guy. Is it a police officer?
Probably.
Or is it like, just, you know...
Look, he has a cop car. I don't know that he's a cop. Welcome back to the Bad Gamecast. This is Jake.
This is Jason.
No, I'm Alex. No?
Perfect. No, that was amazing. Welcome to Alex.
Yeah, this week we played Sonic Unleashed.
That was perfect.
Thank you. But no, really, I'm Elsa. I'm apparently a special guest since nobody's gonna fucking introduce me.
Why would we introduce you?
I know.
You're new Alex.
I'm new Alex. Sorry. No. Let me just get my gravel voice going. No, I'm not gonna do that.
No, I want to see you prepare for your Alex voice.
Imagine you're a golem.
I'm pleased with how that adventure ended. Good job. You all get 400 experience.
Anyway, Sonic Unleashed.
Sonic Unleashed.
It was really bad.
A new year, a new Sonic. That's right, folks. It's a tradition.
Right, because... Why?
Because Sonic Team is really, really good at making really, really bad games.
That's right, we're gonna ring the new year in every year with a Sonic game.
This will take us through like 2050, I assume.
Oh, they'll probably keep making more too.
Exactly.
I'm not coming back.
Ever?
Ever.
Well.
I know it was the Sonic game you got lined up for next year. Let me clear my calendar.
Who knows? What do we got? Like Forces, Boom.
Rise of Lyric.
Oh my god. Oh, isn't there a Black Knight one?
Yes.
Is there?
Yeah, Sonic the Black Knight, the Shadow the Hedgehog. It's just everything. Everything that this group does is wrong.
So, Sonic Unleashed, released in 2008, produced by Sega, developed by Sonic Team, released on PS2, Wii, Xbox 360, and PS3. Elsa is our special guest when other games came out in 2008.
Jake, this is your segment. No one else cares about this segment but you.
No one cares.
This is my favorite section.
Go on.
Fable 2, Fallout 3, Call of Duty World at War, Dead Space, and Grand Theft Auto 4.
Yep, those are games.
All of them better than this.
It's not hard.
It's really not. You know, I imagine they sat down to make Sonic Unleashed and they were like, let's try to do better than last time, being Sonic 06. And, they mostly succeeded. I mean, that's
a real low bar.
The world's lowest bar, but they probably cleared it, I guess. So, just diving right in here with this opening cutscene that's super awesome and makes you think that Sonic is going to be good again.
Sonic is in fucking space, my dudes!
Space! Look at all these spaceships that Robotnik has.
Sonic doesn't have to breathe in space.
No, fuck that. He's allergic to water, he dies on impact, or as soon as it touches him, and he breathes in space, because the hedgehogs, that's how they roll. I want to say, before we get started, how good this cutscene looks. Like, it looks like they ripped it from, like, an actual movie, because it's cinematic as all hell. Like, I was impressed.
It's not bad.
Yeah, especially considering 2008, I was like, wow, they actually put effort into this. That thought immediately goes away as soon as the game starts.
Oh, yeah.
So cutscene, Sonic is blowing up Robotnik's space fleet. Robotnik has a space fleet.
Robotnik has a space fleet.
And I'm not sure why he's still tethered to, like, the ideas of anything.
He wants to make his demonic carnival.
Yeah, Robotnik Land.
Eggman Land.
Whatever.
I'm gonna have to be the one that fights for Eggman this time? God, that feels weird.
Sonic and him start fighting, and then Sonic goes supersonic. Bam, they bust it out early, right from the beginning. This is a golden Sonic, and you start blowing up more ships. Like, literally flying through ships, and they explode behind you, and you're like, wow, I wish I got to do this, because you don't get to do that. Instead, Sonic basically catches up to Robotnik, Eggman, Eggnik, whatever. And they're in a room and he's all like, oh, I'm sorry, Sonic. I didn't mean to kill everybody. Sonic's like, well, if you didn't mean to.
Oh my god.
Because Sonic is mentally deficient.
Well, he's what, 14?
Sonic has an age?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We learned that during the Sonic 06 section. It's real uncomfortable.
Huh.
It's best not to think about.
So, Eggman is all...
This makes me angry thinking about goddamn Sonic 06.
He's all blah ha 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 ha, except like the subtitle is like a different kind of laugh. It's the first thing that's kind of funny because he's seriously hamming it up like blah ha 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 ha, and then the like subtitle is just like hee hee, and you're like, hang on a minute.
Yeah, his Robotnik's English voice actor just goes for it, which I wanted to play in Japanese just to see what they sounded like, but I never did. And at this point, I'm not even going to bother to YouTube it.
Oh yeah, game has already taken up too much of my brain space. He traps Sonic with a weapon designed to harness the power of the Chaos Emeralds and Super Sonic. He fires this laser at the planet. The planet explodes.
The planet explodes.
And everyone dies, game over.
I mean, that would be the logical conclusion of the planet literally exploding into chunks.
And it would be nice. It'd be a nice way to wrap up the Sonic series. Everyone gets what they deserve.
Little Timmy buying Sonic Unleashed, you just get a cutscene and then the end. Game over. No more Sonic is to be made.
I would pay $60 for that.
The experience. Instead, this weird tentacle monster starts pouring out of the earth.
Sin.
Yeah. And Robotnik is like, the manuscripts were true. Dark Gaia is real. And for a moment there, you have to realize he fired this laser knowing it would blow up the planet, not knowing if Dark Gaia was real. There was a chance he was just going to kill everyone, and he was willing to take that chance.
Just gonna roll the dice.
Because Robotnik gets shit done. He has a fucking robot army. Where does he get the resources for his space fleet? What powers it? What the fuck does that matter? Robotnik can do it.
Dark Gaia's power rebounds through the laser and turns Sonic into a werehog.
At this point, Eggman calls Sonic's look festive. I don't know why. And then he fucking spaces him.
Yeah, so he's very festive because he's big and hairy.
Tradition.
Well, yeah, when Dark Gaia shows up, you get all spiky and hairy, right?
And then, yeah, basically opens the airlock and launches Sonic out.
That is a baller-ass move right there. It's like, bye, fucker.
Which is amusing considering Supersonic was just flying through his spaceships a moment before. Like, did he really think this was actually going to kill Sonic?
Yeah, but he was powered up by the Chaos Emeralds, which are now devoid of all power.
Yeah, they're gray and filled with werehog power, I guess?
Well, no, they're not. They're just empty.
I don't know how it works. I don't want to know how it works.
They're filled with jam. He took the jam away. Filled with delicious jam emeralds. That's the level of writing we're dealing with here, folks.
You're not wrong, because it's writing for the absolute lowest common denominator. And they're like, who might play a Sonic game? And someone was like, I don't know, 3-year-olds? And they're like, well, gotta make it understandable to 3-year-olds.
This is insulting for 3-year-olds. This makes your children dumber if they play it.
That's true. Mine did. Now they can't eat.
Wow.
Yeah, he has to feed them himself.
Like a funnel?
Yeah. They hate it.
It's better than not eating.
You've lived life with Sonic Unleashed now, are you sure? Maybe it's a good time for a hunger strike. Title screen!
Title screen? I get... Is the title screen before or after you fall on Chip?
Oh,
It's before.
before. Yeah, it ends with Sonic going plummeting to the planet.
Okay.
And that's the title screen.
Yeah, because title screen and
Is in
then
space.
Change of graphics.
Right. And at this point you've realized you've made a terrible, terrible mistake.
Because, yeah, you hit start, and it continues basically on Sonic plummeting towards the Earth. He hits something before hitting the ground, which slows him down, and then he lands. What he hit, I am trying to figure out how to describe this character.
Chipmunk Fairy.
Good enough. Good enough.
Yeah.
It's this weird little gremlin rodent with fairy wings. Mm-hmm. And it is relentlessly annoying.
It's not very often a game has a character so irritating up front that it makes you want to stab your own ears out. Much like Navi. Chip starts talking and you feel your brain cells dying. God, why won't he stop?
And they're like, don't worry, this is your main character. This is plot device right here.
Of course he's amnesiac.
Oh yeah, he doesn't remember anything. Why would he? Boring old tropes. Boring old tropes.
Sonic's like, I'm gonna help you get your memory back. Like, that's something you can just go out and acquire. Like, I went to the memory store and got Chip his memory back. He now thinks he's a truck driver.
Well, when you're Sonic, there's no reason why you can't go fast enough to get someone's memory back.
I'm sure that's true.
You gotta go fast.
Well, no, because you're the werehog now.
Yeah, you're currently in werehog form, which the change from the cinematic to this is jarring on your eyes.
Yeah.
The effect that they decided to go with to give him fur is a weird blur effect on his arms. Oh, it's so bad.
Huh.
Yeah, as the polygon moves farther away from his base arm, it gets blurrier to imitate fur, except it's still just a giant chunk awful polygon.
Oh, that's funny.
It's so bad looking. And immediately I was like, no.
Yeah, if the camera's out far enough and you're not paying attention, it's fine. But anytime it gets close and it's just in your face, oh no.
I want to say on the Wii version, it didn't have that effect because I didn't notice anything like that. It was just fucking blocky ass polygons.
Well, yeah, so the Wii version, because the hedgehog fucking whatever engine was designed for the PS3 and 360, it was apparently too much. It was overkill for the Wii and PS2.
Right. So for clarification, I ended up playing the Wii version of the game.
I was on PS3.
I was on 360.
Right. So, as we ended up learning, that the game I ended up playing is vastly different.
They seriously dumbed down a ton of the game.
Like all of the exploration, all of the medals you need to get to progress.
Yes.
There are more werehog levels in the Wii and PS2 version, though.
Yup.
But there are less regular Sonic levels.
Yeah.
Oh, are there?
Yes.
I definitely noticed a skew towards more werehog levels, and it made me sad.
I get that, and then I play a werehog level, and I'm like, I hate everything about this. I want to go back to regular Sonic. And then I play a regular Sonic level, and I'm like, this is actually the worst. Please give me back the werehog.
I was going to wait, but now's as good a time as any.
We're going to describe werehog and why it's a terrible word.
Because that would mean someone that turns into a hedgehog or a normal swine on a full moon.
Because werewolf is derived from ancient English wer, meaning man, and wolf, meaning wolf. So a werewolf is a man-wolf, so a werehog is a man-hog.
I don't want to see that fan art.
I'm sure it exists.
You absolutely know it's out there.
You can't see, but I'm making the cut it gesture.
We're gonna dial that up and then give some immediate reactions to. No.
Sonic fan art's weird enough.
I know, right? So, Sonic is more accurately a hedgehog wolf because a hedgehog actually just kind of sprouted into existence as a taken from, I believe, Russian type languages. It actually doesn't derive from any English word. So, hedgehog wolf would be the best description of him.
Sure. Yeah, that sounds right.
Although, it's hard to call him a wolf since he's really just, extra big and has stretchy arms. So, I don't know how you say...
like a wolf.
Hedgehog Stretch Armstrong? Because that's what he actually is.
Spiky hedgehog Stretch Armstrong, even more so. And what really bothered me about the transformation is he gets spikes on the bottom of his feet that are like his shoes just develop spikes. How the fuck does that work?
His shoes are part of him.
Oh, no.
He doesn't wear shoes. Those are his feet.
Mm-hmm.
But, no.
Do you ever see him take them off?
Nobody does change his shoes.
And
how?
He
just changes feet.
He puts shoes on top of his shoe feet. You can put shoes on top of them.
Try to keep up.
I guess. It just makes my brain hurt. Although I'm all I can picture in my head is how would you shoe a horse if you tried to put a tennis shoe on it? What does that look like? That's where my brain went.
We all just stopped and thought about that for a second.
So what was the actual point you were trying to make before I decided to derail us?
Oh, out of the gate, when you get your first Sonic level, how Sonic is way too fast to control even when he's just walking, not running around, which should feel good, but it doesn't, and the werehog levels are so unbelievably slow and plodding, it makes you tear your own hair out to get through it, and this could be me, just the way that I was going through trying to find the collectibles for reasons we can get to later, but it would take me 45-50 minutes to get through each stage. Yeah, and so, doing that, I would miss the breakneck insanity of Sonic speed until I'm playing it and it's too fast to control, and then I would stop, and then I go back to the way, and there's no middle ground, so which shit extreme do you want? And that's the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. How much detail do you actually want to go through here?
All of it.
No.
Fine tooth comb.
No.
I want you to read all of Chip's dialogue.
You go from fake, like, based on real world place to fake based on real world place. You start in Greece.
Sounds right.
And then from there you expand out to
There's Eskimo world.
Yeah.
There's Islander world. There's...
Africa. There's fake China.
Fake
there's
America.
Fake America.
I didn't have fake America.
Wait, what?
We didn't have fake America, the Wii version of the game. There was no fake America.
It's like, oh, the royal we?
Yes, we didn't have fake America.
So it's all these things that are like kind of like the place you're going, and you just go there, and eventually you learn that you need to recharge the Chaos Emeralds
Yep.
at different temples in each of the different locations, and when you do that, it'll cause the Earth to start reforming.
It jigsaws itself back into place.
You need to have like talismans to open up the temples and medals to open up the talismans to open up the temples, and there are a lot of fucking collectibles.
Yeah, so there's day and night, like, medals,
Yeah.
and they're just scattered throughout the entire game, and you need those to unlock the levels that give you the keys to get into the temples.
I am curious how this works on the Wii version.
There was no need to collect any medals. The medals were not scattered throughout the levels. The medals were just awarded at the end. There were 3 categories. There was time, points, and some other category. Style. Let's go with style, because I can't remember right now. But there were like 3 categories that you were graded on, and you got a grade. And if you were under a certain threshold for a category, you got a medal. These medals, instead of for progression, were used to unlock the side doors in the temples. And I want to say you guys had this too. The side doors in the temples that were like little like Legend of Zelda Tomb Raider puzzles that were just like a single room.
Swing and a miss.
Okay, in these, at the end of these little puzzle rooms were the extra lives. Because at the start of the game, you only have 2 lives. And in the Wii version, you only have 2 lives.
Ooh.
And so if you game over, then you have to go to the start level again with 2 lives. And I played through 90% of the game with 2 lives. I felt pretty good about myself. And then I got to Eggman Land, and I couldn't get past the first stage. I'm like, there has to be a way. Because I didn't even explore these side rooms. It wasn't necessary. So it was just like, these are little like puzzle rooms for unlockables. And I thought unlockables meant the hidden scenes and music and stuff like that.
Oh, those are just scattered throughout the level.
Oh, see?
Yeah, there's just like records and books and stuff that
Yeah,
are
like
just...
little videotapes and...
Yeah, no. Instead, well, those are about in the levels for me. But also, there's some of them in these side levels, but there are also extra lives. So if you want to have a higher life total, you have to go do these side missions, which you unlock with the medals that you get from the levels. It's a whole thing.
Yeah, no, in the version that we played, you have to have a certain amount of medals to
progress.
access the stages, and it's not 1-to-1. You have to get it to a certain medal level, which level 1 is like you have to get 10. Level 2, you have to get 25,
What?
etc.
It's a whole thing. It's awful.
That's real bad.
Were there extra lives just throughout your stages?
No.
So there's
You could not find extra lives in the stages.
There are just extra lives that are in the stage, and then there's whenever you collect 100 rings, you get an extra life.
There might have been that, but I didn't notice it if there was. There was no, like, indication that that was happening.
So, I mean, early on, I would build up to, like, I think I got up to 20 lives at one point.
Yeah, there were parts where if it was something difficult and the game assumed that you were going to die, they would just have an extra life as soon as you hit the checkpoint.
Yeah, the checkpoint would then be an extra life, and then the platforming section.
That must be nice.
So every time you failed, you just got your life back.
You know, it's nice in
What?
that you never get to stop. You get to keep going indefinitely because they keep giving you extra goddamn lives.
I mean, at least you don't have to do a game over and then have to replay the whole level 3, 4, 5 times. Especially if you die at the very end of the level, accidentally, and have to go through the level again, another 10 minutes.
Oh no, that's where I
That's
stopped.
where you are. Yes. We all feel pain. Everyone's pain here is valid. This is a safe space.
No, as long as Sonic exists, there is no safe space.
Sonic's right there across the room. This is not safe. I do not feel safe.
Freaking out, man. Something, you put the world back together.
You gotta find Professor Pickle.
Right?
I hate that dude. I hate him so much.
In the beginning of the story, it's like, hey, we need to go find the professor. Professor Pickle. Who the fuck is that guy? Is he in the previous games?
Not that I know of.
No.
Okay, because they were talking like, we know this dude. We hang out with him all the time. He's like part of the Sonic lore. Professor Pickle. Good old Professor Pickle.
He might be from the comics. It was like the art style, everything's very stylized, like human characters.
Yeah.
Which I assume they borrowed from like the Sonic comics.
And his cucumber sandwiches?
His cucumber sandwiches. That was a hilarious punchline.
Yeah.
It was so hilarious, they went back to it 4, 5, 6 times.
Every time he was on screen, he needed to end the conversation with, they have terrible cucumber sandwiches. And you're like, why?
Like when you first rescue him and he goes on for 10 minutes about goddamn sandwiches and, oh, these are the worst sandwiches.
They've got terrible food here while he's actively being kidnapped.
I would think it was funny that, like, everybody was freaking out about Professor Pickle being kidnapped, and Tails was like, now, Eggman isn't evil, but he wouldn't torture his prisoners. He just blew up the planet.
Yeah. But everywhere you go, no one is freaking out about it.
No one gives a fuck!
A large majority of people don't even know it's happened. Like, you talk to them and you go through the conversation trees, and eventually you'll be like, yeah, well, I gotta go fix the planet now. And they're like, fix the what? I don't know what you're talking about. And you're like, the planet that's exploded, that you're standing on. I need to go fix it.
Yeah, so not only did it explode, and Eggman managed to not kill anybody in the process, which is its own sort of impressive.
I'm amazed that there was no people, animals, or anything important on the rifts that appear, or that the ocean doesn't drain because the planet's in pieces.
This could have gone so many different interesting ways with like a Sundered world. Like, I am really into the Sundered world concept. There are games I've played, there are D&D campaigns that I've created that have explored this concept. Instead, it's just like a mild inconvenience.
Nothing is different.
Yeah.
Makes me angry on a base level.
It takes us a little longer to fly there now. Dang.
Yeah, way to introduce a concept and then not follow through.
So I never got to Eggman Land. I got sidetracked, let's say, because for our versions, each town that you go to is its own hub world.
Yes.
And then the level select area is also its own hub. And there's different platforming stuff you can do there to go back and unlock and access new levels.
Okay.
So how does that work on the Wii version?
Sure. In the Wii version, the overworlds, the cities you visit, are not places you actually go. You don't go there as Sonic. It's just a map. It's a map with hotspots. And for this, I was thankful, because I heard you guys had like the city to run around in and talk to people, and that just seems like an incredible waste of time. No, I just pulled up a walkthrough, had like talk to this person, go to this hotspot, go to the next level. I mean, if you didn't have a guide to do that, I pity you.
No. If you consciously decided to play this game, you deserve every second of it.
Yeah, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, no, wandering around town sucks. And then the part that he touched on at the end is actually the worst. When you go to the level select,
Oh.
it's its own area. It is basically a level to level select.
Oh no.
Yes, you have to platform up to the level.
Nope. What I had to experience was literally just, you go into the temple, there are 3 doors, there's the light side, there's the dark side, and you go in there, and then you play the light side levels or the dark side levels, and then you just go through a set of like 3 levels, and it kicks you out.
What I really liked about the the hubs, is that it doesn't tell you which one you need to go to.
Oh no.
So you get to figure it out on the fly, and you don't have enough medals to access the later stuff, so you're going to have to come back later. And in my case, you're going to have to come back repeatedly to get medals that you didn't get the first time through because you're Sonic and you're just trying to get to the end without dying.
Gotta go fast.
Which is why it took me that 45, 50 minutes in the plotting werehog levels, because I wasn't replaying that shit. I'm doing it the first time. Although I did really like, and this ties in with the game music, which I didn't think was that bad. Except it's the same issue that I had with Sonic 06, where after a while it's just a constant reminder of your failure. Mm-hmm. But the ending theme that you get when you get your final score, did either of you ever get an E?
I don't know what. No.
So, you know, like the normal triumphant music, you beat the stage, hooray, music that plays?
Yeah.
If you get the lowest score that it will give you an E, the music gets all fucked up and weird when it plays.
This did happen to me. It's during the game over screen, for the Wii version at least. The like weird discordant version of the triumph music. That was actually really funny.
Yeah, I fucking love that. That is so good.
That was one of the few things I appreciated.
And then you beat the level, and you get to level up your Sonic.
Oh, right. We didn't even talk about the RPG mechanic.
You get to level up. I didn't get to level up.
Oh yeah, you get to level up your Sonic.
There's no XP.
There is XP. You don't get to choose anything about it. It just fills in a bar, and once your bar gets high enough, you get the next combo or you get the next stat upgrade. And it's only for the werehog. Sonic does not get an upgrade at all.
Oh.
Oh no! Whenever you kill an enemy, they drop these weird. What do you call
Diamond?
Yeah.
There's like yellow diamonds.
And that's experience.
Okay.
This happens whether you're Sonic or the werehog. So when you're Sonic, if you what's his homing attack?
Yep.
Into enemies, they drop it. So you get experience, and then at the end of the level, it fills up a bar, but the bar doesn't really matter. It just keeps track of how much you've gained. When you're Sonic, you can level up your speed or your ring power.
Mm-hmm.
Speed does what it says on the tin. If you level this up, you're going to make the game harder for yourself because Sonic just becomes that much harder to control.
Yeah, that's what I did, not realizing that's what would happen.
Cool.
If you level up the ring power, it just makes rings give you more ability to go super fast, which makes Sonic almost impossible to control. Great. So leveling up Sonic tends to make the game harder for you. Is not really how you typically want that to go.
Now, do you have an option to upgrade Sonic or wear Sonic?
Only on their specific levels.
Okay.
No. If you can toggle between it at the end of the stage using one of the LRRs.
Can you actually give the experience to the other one?
On the 360 one, anyway, you can, yes. Also, anytime in a stage, you can press start, go to the pause menu, and go to status, and then use up any of the experience you currently gained.
Huh. Never tried the level up in
So mid-stage level up, which for me on the werehog, it was always damage. You need to hit harder, always hit harder.
Because at the beginning it takes 5 to 10 hits to kill any enemy, even the small little dudes.
That is consistent through all versions.
Man.
And you're just wailing on dudes. Yeah, but you said you had only 3 enemies in an area?
Well, yes. Let's switch to the combat for a second. With the werehog, the combat. The combat arenas, at least in the early going, was just 3 enemies, and it was really, really slow. So the attack buttons, from what I understand in the other versions, were mapped to the face of the controller. Mm-hmm. For the GameCube controller plugged into the Wii, they are mapped to L and R.
Oh, why?
And exactly. So you know how the GameCube controller has those big, heavy, chunky shoulder buttons, and so every time you swing, ka-chunk. And it forces you to do your combos in the left, right, left, right, left, right combination. So that's how you're doing your entire combat. Cha-chunk, 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 cha-chunk. It gets very loud and very tedious very quickly. And also, apparently, the Wii only has the processing power to have only, 5 enemies on screen at one time. Because instead of adding more enemies later on, it just adds stronger enemies. I mean, the biggest combat I had was probably maybe 10 dudes.
I mean, you run into them the first level. There's easily 10 dudes on screen. And then you kill them, and as they try to spawn a bunch of experience, the game slows down. So it's whoa, that's a lot of particles.
That's what I was just going to say. The farther you get and the more enemies they throw at you, and you just watch that frame rate drop and drop and drop because it can't handle everything that's going on screen.
So let's talk about the combat. How does it feel? Is it actually good combat, though?
As far as the combos go, I think it's a decent beat 'em up. It's not great. It's not groundbreaking.
It is adequate.
I mean, it's a very mediocre beat 'em up, God of War type, where you're just jamming. I don't like that kind because
Sure.
I honestly couldn't tell you half the combos because you don't need to know them. You just smash triangle and square or
X and Y.
X and Y, and your werehog does a bunch of wild swings. And because his arms stretch, you hit things that aren't even close to you, and it's most of the time they don't really even get the chance.
Yeah, so I wouldn't say that it's satisfying, but it's okay. As soon as you get the combos leveled up and you can do some
as soon as
different
you
stuff.
get your damage and combos leveled up, you actually start pulling off combos, whether you know what they are or not, and you actually kill things when you do pull off a combo instead of you combo off in their face and then they just bonk you and you're why are you still here?
The combat in general was just a tedious chore in the Wii version. It was never fun. There was no good part of the Where Sonic sections. I was always jonesing for a Sonic section because, again, with the processing power, and also it was using a different engine, the Sonic versions were slower than the ones that I displayed in that one level before we sat down.
Oh yeah, the Sonic in our version is completely uncontrollable.
That was stupid fast.
You're just hurtling through stuff, and you're like, I guess I was supposed to jump there, and now I'm somewhere else. Hey, by the way, you missed like 7 medals, and I'm like, cool, I don't know where they are, because I could barely see the level.
Yeah, like, playing that made me question how old I am. It was like, is my hand-eye coordination really slipping that much? Oh no, I'm just supposed to have some precognitive ability to know what's coming up. Otherwise, I'm just going to throw lives at it, and then I'll learn as I go.
Yeah.
Good game design.
How about that, like, run, jump, grab platforming that the werehog version had?
That was absolutely nightmarish.
Game design.
The amount of times where I'm just like, you have to jump and grab a ledge, but you can only extend your arms and grab the ledge when the icon appears. So if you press circle when the icon isn't there, he just does this other thing and falls.
Does he now?
Yep. It was super fun to be like, I need to grab this next ledge. Jump. Hit the button. Oh, it didn't think that I needed to be there yet, so I'm not shooting my arms out to grab it. Now I'm falling to my death again.
Or you miss the fraction of a second that it pops up, so you're either too early or too late, and it's like, yeah, and you're dead now. Because that happened to me a bunch.
Mm-hmm.
So I learned about halfway through my game that, as Were Sonic, I could jump towards a ledge and just hold down the grab button, and as soon as he got into a state where he could grab, he would automatically do it. Thanks, Wii version.
Really?
Yeah.
Man.
That sounds nice.
That would have been.
It was, well, nice is one word for it.
I mean, you know, it's like, hey, this is stabbing you in the leg, but at least we disinfected it.
And that's one thing I'll say about the werehog levels. Like, I didn't mind the puzzles. And for the most part, I didn't mind the platforming. Just because of how different, let me finish, how different the Sonic and the werehog levels play. Like, it's a nice contrast. Now, they have their own issues, and they're both fucking awful. But, like, the early platforming I thought was fine for the werehog. It's only until, like, the second or third, the clock tower. The clock tower is what really put me over the fucking edge. When I spent a goddamn hour trying to get my way up that son of a bitch, only to fucking die at the very end, and I had to start from the fucking beginning, and I called it for a goddamn week. I just couldn't even look at the game anymore. But I thought the platforming was fine up till then, and everything after that was fucking garbage.
Alright, so first 2 levels aren't the worst.
High praise.
Put that on the back of the box.
Oh, I guess we should actually, like, finish up
The story?
The story.
We got sidetracked by all this
All
amazing...
all of the bad that is constantly thrown in your face.
I mean, we're going to be moving on to more bad, so let's not get ahead of ourselves. The story.
You got this.
Oh, do I?
You do.
So we went through and got all the medals, we got all the talismans, we awoke in the temples, we fought the bosses. Didn't talk about the bosses at all. Do we want to talk about the bosses?
Yeah.
Like the Eggman bosses and also like the Mystic bosses?
No.
No?
I don't think I got any mystic bosses.
Like phoenixes or dragons?
Oh, right.
Yeah, see?
See, like, when first we said bosses, I'm like, there's no boss fights. And then I remembered all the boss fights, and I was like, man, I had already scrubbed those from my memory.
That's reasonable.
Well, yeah, because the Sonic boss fights are always on a track, just running in a circle.
I was kind of okay with those.
Those weren't that bad.
Right. I want to say those were the sections that I came closest to having fun.
And then there's the werehog ones where you get to figure out what it is you're supposed to do first.
You punched the big monster.
Yeah, but, like, I did the Phoenix, and, like, you have to get the water and throw it at him, and then he has to land somewhere, and then you gotta hit him, and then do that, like, 6 times. Also, quick time events. We didn't, I wanted to ask,
Did you have Tails' QuickTime plane?
Tails' quick time plane.
I did not have Tails' plane in my game.
I hate you. I want to erase the game data off my Xbox so you can play that. It's
Oh no.
you should suffer through that too.
It's the second thing you do. You go through one level, and then Tails finds you, and he's like, we need to go somewhere. You hop in his plane, and it's about, what did you say, 2 minutes?
Wow.
Of just straight QuickTime events through the entire thing.
And this is fun.
No. QuickTime events suck. They're terrible game design.
I agree.
And you get to do them for 2 minutes straight.
Assuming you don't die and then start over.
Oh, good. Is it just like one and done?
No, but I don't know.
Yes, it is.
Is it really?
You don't have to do that again. As soon as you get through that, you can just fly
if you
wherever.
fail, I don't know.
Oh, no, if you fail? Yeah, no, you get to start over.
Yeah, I don't know how many hits it takes because I didn't fail.
5 or so? Yeah, because I wasn't paying attention the first time. I ended up getting about halfway through it. I'm like, oh, that sucks.
Real quick. Also differences, you had to like go through a level to save Tails, right? Like in the very
Yes.
beginning of the game.
Yes.
And this is something I looked up. I didn't have a level for that. There was literally a cutscene and then we had Tails.
Yeah, he shows up and then he gets ambushed by monsters, and that's the first werehog level.
I defeat those monsters in a cutscene. I've already done 3 levels in werehog form.
Yeah, no, that's like the very first thing you do.
What?
Yeah.
After you give Chip his name because he loves chocolate chips from the ice cream vendor, which makes me want to gouge my own eyes out.
Are you sure you don't want to lose your ears?
Well, I'm just going straight back. I'm gouging as far deep as I can get.
Okay,
We'll see how
so
much gray matter we get.
We're going lobotomy. Got it.
Well, if you get one of those, like, hay bale hooks, you can get them both out with one sick twist.
You just want to take everything from the eyes up, off, just like...
Just some, like, Constantine demon shit.
Yeah.
So we're talking bosses. We're being bosses.
Are we?
No, I mean, let's just leave it there. We beat the bosses. We beat the bosses. We assembled the Triforce. We combined Voltron. And yes, literally fucking Voltron. Because after you head through Eggman Land and engage in Eggman and Dark Gaia, the temples all fly to the location and assemble themselves in a giant robot.
It's so fucking dumb. It's the dumbest thing.
A robot made of temples.
And now, I didn't get this far in the game, and I was kind of upset because I really wanted to play that. I want to watch them come together in the stupidest fashion possible. I can only imagine that the robo controls are so fucking terrible they're not worth mentioning.
They're pretty bad. So obviously, once you assemble your giant robot, you gotta fight as your giant fucking robot. Because that's what you do. And you have rock'em sock'em robots between your giant robot and Dark Gaia. It does feel like it has a certain weight to it, like giant robots should, so good for them for getting that aspect right, but that's about the only good thing I can say about that sequence.
Alright, one good thing, probably like 8 bad things.
Yeah. So after that, we go back to Sonic, and Sonic is on top of our giant robot, and he has to like run through the temple to get to a jump point so we can go hit Dark Gaia from the jump point. You do that a few times. It's just like little itty bitty short Sonic levels. And then you get to the end of the game. We're at the end of the game.
Yay.
You're just... Does every game end with him being supersonic?
Yeah.
Is that just how it ends?
Mm-hmm.
He's just like, oh, by the way, I'm gonna go supersonic now and win. Blah! Like, that's just...
Yeah.
It's like, I'm pretty sure we had the... Didn't we have the Chaos Emeralds
Yes.
when we went into Eggman World?
Yes. You've
Okay.
already fixed them all at the temples.
So
you could, in theory, go supersonic.
Could have gone supersonic, because the Eggman levels are the hardest levels in the game. They're tedious. It's where I had to go and get extra lives from the puzzle rooms to actually complete the game. They're that hard. So, in theory, we could have just gone supersonic, but, internal game logic being consistent, who the fuck needs that?
Yeah, it's amusing how overpowered supersonic is, that he doesn't do it, like, all the time.
It needs rings. Gotta keep his supersonic form up with rings.
And chili dogs.
Sure.
Okay, but there's rings fucking everywhere.
That's true.
And a chili dog vendor in every location.
That's also true.
I don't know if you're being facetious about the chili dog thing.
I am not.
You can definitely just buy chili dogs wherever.
What do
But
they do for you?
If you want to go to the good chili dog vendor, you have to unlock his time trials.
What is happening right now?
And you should probably just kill yourself instead.
I can't tell if you're bullshitting me.
Well, yeah, because it's fun to play stages that you failed a bunch on again to unlock chili dogs.
So we might have to turn this game on, because this is not bullshit. There's a chili dog vendor so you as we said, you can go into the cities and wander around.
Right.
And there's a chili dog vendor who is in every city.
All right.
And when you talk to him, he's like, well, I'd love to sell you a chili dog, but you gotta complete my trials first.
Capitalism.
Yeah. So, like when I go to a restaurant and they're like, hey, I'd love to give you some food, but only if you can juggle these bowling pins. And you're like, I guess I'll go somewhere else. They're like, haha, but you can't leave. And that's how I learned to juggle. Yeah, that's a thing that happens. There's also a weird, what do you call the ventriloquist dude who shows up everywhere?
You got me on that one.
Oh, yeah. It's probably in your game. Probably. There's a weird ventriloquist dude who's like a traveling salesman, but he's so shy he won't sell you anything. When you talk to him, his puppet goes, "Not again!" and then he runs away. It's the weirdest thing.
Are you sure this wasn't just a fever dream you had from playing too much Sonic?
I don't know at this point.
I think I saw that guy in Not America.
Yeah.
And I didn't talk to him because he had a fucking puppet on his hand. And I'm not about that life.
Every time you talk to them, he like goes to a different location.
I assume there's something unlocked at the end of this
Probably.
sequence?
I didn't find him in every location.
Oh, well.
Anytime I saw him, I would talk to him, but I didn't specifically try to track him down.
And that's how you unlock Supersonic.
And maybe.
That's how you unlock Shadow.
Oh, whoa. Where is That's actually, where is Shadow this whole time?
Where's Shadow? Where's Knuckles? Where's Rouge? Where's fucking anybody?
Like, Shadow can go Super Shadow and, like, wreck stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Chaos Control.
Yeah, he's actually, like, whenever we were playing Sonic 06, Shadow appears to be much more put together and stronger than Sonic.
Well, that's because Shadow's a grown-ass man.
Yeah. No, it's actually true.
And
Yeah.
Sonic is 14?
Sonic's 14 and Shadow's supposed to be like
saying
40
that.
or something.
Yeah.
What the fuck
Yeah, no, Shadow
happening
is a
right
grown-ass man.
Shadow's a grown-ass man with a job. He works for the government. The president has a button for Shadow the Hedgehog to call him in for secret missions.
I'm learning so much about Sonic lore today.
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna have to drink to forget.
Drink to forget.
We're at the end of the game with Supersonic.
Yeah.
Let's get through this shit.
You fight the final boss of Supersonic.
Yeah. How do you fight the boss with Supersonic?
I don't know. I didn't actually beat it.
So wait, are we saying that I'm the only one who here has beaten this game?
Oh, absolutely.
Yep.
Oh wow, fuck you guys.
Yeah. We're the worst.
So
Yeah, no, I'm okay with that.
The Supersonic sequence, I looked it up on the 360 version, and it looks like you're flying through space, weaving through asteroids, doing all this super shit. In the Wii version, you're just hovering there, and you gently drift from left to right, collecting rangs. And then once you collect enough rings, you can charge forwards and hit them. And then you go back to that. And you're gently swaying to the side to side, avoiding attacks. I feel like this was made for the Wiimote.
That makes sense.
Maybe.
Is it as engaging as it sounds?
Yeah.
I mean, Jake, if you really... That sounds like the Sonic 06 ending.
Yeah, it does.
Except you don't get a switch between Super Silver and Super Shadow.
No.
It's just the Sonic section of fighting.
Oh, I forgot about Silver.
What is the name
no
of that
use.
horrible monster at the end?
Who-
World Eater, End of Time, blah, blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah,
whatever.
Morgan.
The
Yeah.
Devour of Dimensions and shit.
Yeah.
Wait. Are you telling me that all the fucking 3D Sonic games, the final boss is some Devour of Dimensions and shit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
In your Supersonic, you fly through space and you beat them up.
But, what?
They don't have ideas, Jake. Just put it together already. They've got units to sell.
I think I'm getting a nosebleed.
Oh yeah.
Just
there
your
was,
brain trying to escape.
There was an Eggman fight in there. There was an Eggman fight, and it was really, really easy.
Like all the Eggman fights?
I mean, yeah, that's why they were fun.
Because
Because they made you feel powerful.
Yeah, Eggman is trash. It's amazing that he continues to succeed and have robot armies whenever Sonic you actually face off against him and you just ruin his day. Why couldn't anyone else do this? He's blowing up planets. You think someone else would have an issue with that?
Why doesn't he just trap Sonic and then shoot him in the face?
Because he needs him to power his world-splitting laser.
No, you really just needed the Chaos Emeralds.
I guess. Maybe.
Because if he deals with Sonic, he doesn't have to deal with Shadow, and Shadow will just fucking kill him.
Shadow does have guns.
Yeah. And Shadow wouldn't put up with that shit.
So we beat the game!
We beat the game!
And the final credits roll, and guess what? Chip just fades away into nothing.
Yeah.
I'll never forget you. And I think we're supposed to have this emotional moment where, like, Chip was also apparently like Gaia. I don't think we mentioned that. He was like the other counterpart to Dark Gaia, the big sin monster that you fight. His counterpart is Chip.
So once you fix the planet and defeat Dark Gaia, Chip vanishes as well. Hooray. Oh, I mean, boo-hoo or something.
So,
what am I supposed to feel?
Emotions.
Rage. I feel rage.
As soon as Chip's gone, do the graphics get better again? No, really. Because I assume a cutscene plays and the graphics will get better, right? Because, like, as soon as Chip shows up, the graphics drop.
No, the cutscene happens and fades away, and it's just the normal shitty cutscene graphics. They blew all their budget on their space battle, their Star Wars space battle.
They did. If they had a budget for this thing. They probably had a budget for this thing. They're Sonic team. They sell so many things. So many horrible things.
This was the third best-selling Sega game in 2008.
That pains me in more ways than I can explain.
Now, hold on. I don't know what that translates into units sold, just that it was the third best.
No, this should be last best. Worst selling game.
Last best.
Last best.
You're not the worst. You're the last best.
Good lord.
And then we get a super sweet punk rock, pop rock, kind of like that, it might have been that song.
No,
honestly.
it's a different song at the end.
Oh, good.
Yeah, because they always need to try to make sure you realize Sonic is cool.
Sonic is super cool.
And he's got these, like, rock anthems.
Yeah.
They're terrible.
Yeah.
Better than the combat.
Better than the platforming.
I don't know. At least the song is short.
Better than the writing.
Better than the super speed Sonic levels.
Shit, the music's the best part, isn't it?
Oh no! That's what people say about Sonic 06. They're like, hey, the music's not bad. And I'm like, yeah, but fucking whatever.
I believe I said the same thing too. For the first 5 minutes, the music's not that bad. And then it constantly loops. Same thing with this one.
There's only the one combat music, and it's super grating. For the werehog sections, the weresonic sections. The combat loop. Oh god, the combat loop. Yeah, no, I've gone full twitchy here.
That was me during Zombier.
It was not good. I pulled up Jason and, like, you know, I like to listen to my games. I like to hear the sound design. I muted this one after about 2-3 hours and I started listening to podcasts, including one of the bad game casts. So there you go.
Yeah.
Bad game castception. Maximum pain.
So, Elsa, who do you recommend it for?
Oh man, the wrap-up section.
Oh,
Your last chance to rant and say that it's recommended for no one because it's trash and I hate everyone.
it's recommended for no one because it's trash and I hate everyone.
That's a good point.
Thanks, man. It was terrible. No, like as we were saying earlier, like the writing is clearly written for kids. It's supposed to be like a kid's game because it's a Sonic game. Nay, fuzzy cartoon characters. Except the writing is insipid and insulting. And if you get this game for your kids, it will make them dumber and it would be considered child abuse. Don't get this for your children. Get them something better, like, I don't know, this Sonic. Jesus Christ, I can only say Sonic. I was gonna say, like, the Crash remakes or a Mario game or maybe the Spyro remakes. Don't get them a Sonic game. And in fact, this is for like the 360 and the Wii.
But it's compatible with the Xbone now.
Oh my god, that's true.
Yeah, they added compatibility for it.
You can play this on the current generations. Don't do that. Don't do that, dear
almost did
human.
that. But I didn't want it to run, like, maybe too well.
I don't think any amount of extra processing power is going to make this actually run well. Because it's another game that's just broken. It's bad and it's broken and it's horribly designed and unfun through basically every single step of the way. I am amazed that Sonic still has fans, much less exists, since this was the direct follow-up to Sonic 06. Wow. 2 games back to back, 2 years apart, and they came out with 2 of the worst things we've played for this podcast. And I don't even understand.
They will buy Sonic, they being Sonic fans, just will buy Sonic things because as Sonic on them, he's a cool design, and he's a cool guy, and I don't know. I'm questioning everything right now.
So if you didn't understand that,
Don't.
I recommend this for no one. No one ever.
Don't.
I do recommend this for someone.
Jake, die in a fire.
I planned on it. If you're a fan of Sonic games, then you automatically like this trash. And I said it earlier, you deserve this. This is the game that you deserve if you like this sort of thing. It's bad. And if you can't accept that it's bad, play this. You're welcome. Play this and 06. You should have both of those. Those are the only games you should own. You should give the rest of your games away.
But don't, like, recommend it to your friends or your loved ones. In fact, like, concrete up your door with these games and then just die with them.
Yeah. You should entomb yourself with these games.
Yeah, cask of Amontahagno.
Yes, the cast of Montahagno yourself with Sonic games. Because that's what's left for you.
That's your fate.
I don't think we've gone hard enough in on Sonic fans, especially because you just go on Reddit and insult them all the time, Jake.
I kind of don't need to. They know that I hate them.
They don't care. There's some sort of, like, sincerity to them that they just don't care.
Oh, no, they do. They get so butthurt. It's so funny.
No, they care. They don't care that Sonic is bad.
Right.
That's what they don't care about. And it bothers me that they're just willing to be like, yeah, I mean, the game might be not as good as you'd want. I'm like, no, the game is trash. It's trash from start to finish. It's hackneyed and bad. And somehow they're like, nah, it's not that bad. It's got Sonic in it. And you're like, no. I usually pull up reviews when I get angry about this because it makes me more angry. And that's always good to feed back into that loop. Because there are people who, like, this game has a 7.7 user review.
What?
On Metacritic. 7.7. Because it has a ton of positive reviews around, like, 8 that are like, hey, you know, this was actually a pretty good game, and now that you can play it on the Xbone, you absolutely should, because it holds up today. What is wrong with these humans?
I can only assume that, like, Sonic games and, like, the, like, flashing colors and lights give, like, the same dopamine reaction as people playing slots. The plinging and the lights and the shiny images, and they're just like fucking toddlers with keys. You're toddlers, Sonic fans. Get a life.
I just wish that the colors flashed fast enough that I would just have an epileptic fit on the ground. I would have a better time.
Would be preferable.
Maybe I could bite my tongue off. If our wishes came true.
All right, well, what do we do now?
Now we usually talk about questions and stuff. Once again, our listeners coming up real short here.
My bad.
Our listener, the one that sends any emails.
Yeah, what are you doing? Other than sitting here and playing Sonic.
Playing Sonic, and I think that is, suffering enough.
Oh, it certainly is.
So I did have a question for you.
Yes, we're just going to grill you.
Sure. Let's do it.
When you get into town, because you don't live in Columbus anymore.
Right. I live in California.
Is there a restaurant that you have to go to anytime you're in town?
I mean, when I come back, I usually go to Skyline at least once, because we don't have Cincinnati chili.
Sure.
And, I went to school in Cincinnati, and it was like, I just gotta get my chili on. Man, aside from that, I don't got much.
Yeah.
There's that really delicious taco place Jason takes me to.
I get that.
We should go there.
Yeah, we can do that.
I have a hard time driving around Jason's house and not going there.
So, whatever that unnamed delicious taco place is.
Yeah, they ain't paying us.
Yeah. Somebody should. Please, seriously. Like, sponsors, what up? Hit me up. I'll sponsor you. Sponsor anything. We talked about this last time.
We did. Which, I think I've said before, there is a restaurant that I go to when I go back to Iowa to visit my family. Mm-hmm. And it's a taco joint that I go to before I see any of my family. That is my first stop as soon as I'm in Des Moines.
Priorities.
Oh, yeah, and I tell them, like, I can call and talk to you on the phone. I can't call and talk to tacos, and you fuckers can meet me here.
Yeah, I get it.
So, obviously, me and Jake have talked about a lot of the games that we play. Namely, that we've been playing a metric fuck ton of Monster Hunter recently. Mm-hmm. So, what have you been doing that's not Sonic?
I've been... Oh my god, I can't even think about, having fun. No, Back to the real world. Deep breaths. I've been playing a lot of Smash recently, since it just dropped. Spent some time with that single-player mode. It's super deep and super vast, and I like it a lot. I've been playing some Let's Go Eevee. My Switch has been getting a lot of work lately, which has been fantastic. So, my computer's currently going through a bit of a tantrum, so I'd wanted to start Monster Hunter this last month, but my computer decided to say, you know what, I'm gonna crash a bunch of times because my video drivers are fucked. I'm like, thanks AMD, you're great. Stop pushing out unstable updates. Yeah, no, Smash and Pokemon. Huge surprise, right?
Yeah. That was going to be my follow-up. Why haven't you been joining us on those behemoth runs? What the shit?
I haven't got good yet.
That's probably true, because I will enjoy, if you ever get your computer sorted, just running around you and just being like, are you good yet?
Are you good yet?
Don't worry, when I join you, it'll make all the monsters harder.
Good, thanks. Yeah, I'm gonna be running around in like a cloth tabard and a stick and be like, come here, dragon!
And you'll just see, event has scaled for multiplayer, and I'll just be like, hello, I'm gonna go collect some berries! Have fun!
You what?
Berries.
No, sorry, I'm still coming out of like the red haze. I understand it now. I sympathize.
Yeah, it's an interesting experience once you get on the other side of it, and then you look back and you're like, what in God's name? And you have to control yourself during the podcast.
Yeah, so it's not just angrily screaming into a microphone where
Right.
the words fade out and it's just the pain coming.
I want to strap on a pair of roller skates and drive myself into somebody. I do roller derby as like my main hobby, and so I like to hit people on roller skates, and that's the feeling I'm feeling right now. I just want to hit someone real hard.
So-
preferably a Sonic fan.
Before any game, are you now just going to boot up some Sonic?
Oh, I don't know if that'd be good for my mental game. Like,
You don't even need to boot it up, just like have a picture of Sonic.
you are everything that's wrong with this world. Be like Bobby Boucher, see little Sonic heads
Yeah.
on all the opposing players
I can't wait for you to drop kick someone.
with skates.
Yeah.
Well, Elsa, so that you're here, do you have any questions?
Yeah. You want to hit us with anything?
Yeah, I should have prepared something, shouldn't I?
Oh, yeah, we should have prepared something, but here we are.
I don't know, like, how many games do you have planned out in the future right now? Like, how long is the list?
The list?
Oh, okay, so the list of bad games is, I don't know, 100 deep or something.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
But they're not planned. So we have the list of just games, and then we schedule out. I think we're scheduled through April?
That sounds about right, yeah.
All right.
So that's, yeah, we try to keep ahead of stuff, which is why sometimes things will get a bit weird. I've mentioned in the past a bit time issue where we'll record something and then maybe it'll get pushed back or moved up. We've actually recorded some of the episodes that are set to come out.
Yeah, which is also why we don't say what we're going to play next, just because it
Right.
hops around sometimes.
You could juggle it around, sure. Of the games that you know are coming up, is there any that you're looking forward to the least? You know what I mean. Which ones are like
Yeah.
Yeah.
looking down a barrel of a gun?
We talked about it in our last episode.
Yeah.
Oh.
So the special episode that came out last week,
Yeah.
there is something on the horizon that is...
Looming.
So, last week we put out our special episode, a year-end review. We're going to try to do this every year, and we're hopefully going to do better next year, coming out with like better categories and stuff, and to talk about the games.
Sure.
So the worst game of last year was Sonic 06. The worst game of this coming year is not going to be Sonic Unleashed. It's something else.
Wow.
As I said last time, we tried to play this for last year, and neither of us got far enough that we could even begin to talk about it, and we just had to keep pushing it back, and it's now scheduled for... God, I'm going to say this, and it probably won't come out. It's scheduled for April. It's the last thing we have scheduled right now. We're giving ourselves 4 months to try to get some headway in this game, and it still might get pushed back again.
Can you tell me what console or what platform it's for? Just tease it.
It's PS1, right?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
It is the worst thing we've touched.
Yeah.
It is impressive in how awful it is.
I was gonna say, that's... With the Sonic team setting such a high bar.
I know. Sonic Team has this thing going where they're like longevity of trash.
That's true.
Which is amazing. This just makes... Oh my god.
No, Sonic Team hit for a fucking double. This is a goddamn home run.
I look forward to not participating.
I'm hoping that we can just find reasons to constantly push it back.
Yeah, he doesn't want to do it at all.
I don't. I didn't want to do it from the get-go, and now I've sat with it. I really don't want to go back to it. Because, any game that's appropriate, I will make the kids play, just to see their reaction, because it makes me laugh.
Yeah.
And I try to limit their time with the bad games that we play, because I want them to enjoy video games as a hobby, and, as a storytelling medium, and all the good stuff about video games, so I try to shoo them away from the crap that we do. But this one... They wanted to play it, and after 2 minutes, they're both like, I'm done. Why? Why would you do this? I know. I know. It won't stop.
That's how you know you're doing it wrong, I guess. Just kids won't even give it a shot.
Yeah. Is there anything I'm actually looking forward to on our schedule?
Games that are so bad that they'll be, fun to play. Like Big Rigs.
Yeah, or there's a few that we've had that are... less actively bad. Oh, it was funny. I was looking forward to Fallout 76, and then it was one of the most trash things we've played.
No.
The game is so bad. I'm just going to harp on it now every episode, because I think this is actually 3 episodes in a row where I have talked about how much that game was not good.
Some of the holiday stuff we have scheduled, I'm looking forward to, because that'll be... I'm hoping it's so bad that it's good, but, we'll have to wait to see on that one.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah. Okay. Looking at the schedule, there's one that I'm kind of interested in, and one that I think is going to be so bad it will probably be kind of funny.
It's good, I guess.
And then, there's 4 that are just... There's 3 that are bad, and 1 that's an actual nightmare. This is what we do here. We do this... all of you listeners out there. That's you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. It gives me something to do while I'm driving.
Yeah.
Can I just go back to Sonic Unleashed for a second? Because I got a few things in my notes that I didn't hit on.
Oh, sure. Just rattle them off. We'll cut them in where they're necessary.
All right. So, in the werehog sections, they're precise platforming, and specifically in the end of some of the ice levels, there are some sections where you have to jump from ice flow to ice flow. And in my version, for Sonic, for Were Sonic to run, you had to double tap the stick. I noticed in your version, you had the shoulder buttons to run. So when you're trying to do precise platforming, you're trying to line up your shot. So sometimes you'll just tap gently to try to line up. No, Sonic will hurl himself off the edge because you're just gently trying to tap to the side, and you accidentally double tap, and there he fucking goes into the icy below. Dead again. Gotta replay the level. That's another 10 minutes that I want back. I got really, really acquainted with that level. Yeah, the controls were ass, my dudes.
I think that's a staple of a lot of these bad games, is just controls that don't make sense.
Yeah, and it's when the timing's off.
Can't we just standardize controls fucking now? Jesus.
A is jump or X.
Yeah, when the timing on either platforming or quick time events or just input lag, if it sways too far in either direction and it just ruins an experience.
So no, that's all I had. That was the biggest thing. Because that ended in 2, maybe 3 consecutive game overs at the end of that level, which, stole 30-40 minutes away from me. How long did the levels last for you?
Oh, it depended.
So now you're talking about having to do fucking 30 minutes.
Oh god, I would have wished for as fast as 30.
I did a lot less tromping around, but they were, I don't even know, Sonic levels were a half a second long.
Okay.
No, but seriously, the Sonic levels were 4 minutes, maybe, until you hit a Sonic platforming section, and then those levels would take half an hour. Because, as it turns out, gotta go fast makes precise jumps really nearly impossible.
True.
And then the werehog sections, probably like 10 minutes.
Okay. It's pretty much about mine, where like the Sonic sections were anywhere between like 5 and 8 minutes, and the werehog sections were anywhere between like 6 and 10.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm getting myself riled up again.
Yeah. Just
Just let it go.
Yeah, like I've got stuff that I want to say, but
oh yeah, there's so much more we can
I'm
talk
good.
about. But this game's trash.
You don't want to make this like a 3-hour special?
No, not again. We're trying, to be a bit cognizant of the timing nowadays. Trying being the key word. This one's still going to be longer than some of them. And some of the episodes with longer stories and more in-depth stories take longer as we try to go through them. The writing is so bad, I don't need to stop on the story at all.
That's true.
You're Sonic. You power up the Chaos Gemeralds, and then you beat the fuck out of what's-his-name.
Quantum Gemeralds filled with jam. Like gushers on the inside.
wait. So then, what flavors are there?
Look at the fucking colors, my dude.
What are all the colors of Chaos Emerald? There's probably like green. That one's
Green apple?
sure, green apple. Purple. Everyone knows purple.
Hold on, green sometimes watermelon though.
No.
Yes.
No. Green is green apple.
Lime.
I'll take lime. I actually like lime more than green apple. Lime it up.
We got red cherry.
Sure. There's probably a yellow one. That one is always lemon.
Blue raspberry? No, yellow sometimes banana.
Oh, that's true. Oof.
Ooh,
No one
and sometimes pineapple.
I'd be in on pineapple.
Pineapple and Chaos Emerald.
Can orange be mango?
Yeah.
And there's purple, which is purple flavored.
Yeah.
I assume there's a purple chaos emerald. I don't know what colors they are.
Why would you? At
It
this
always
point.
made me angry as a child. Why aren't the Chaos Emeralds all green?
Why aren't they cut like emeralds?
Any of those things?
Nah. These are questions that don't need answered because there's so many more questions for the Sonic universe. Why? Why anything? It amuses me. The people's reactions to the world exploding is very nonchalant. But then you have to remember, the reactions to a giant talking hedgehog are also very nonchalant, since most of them don't know who you are.
It's true.
Yeah. Most of the time you go up to people and they're like, oh, who are you? Well, I'll sell you this ice cream. And you're like, you don't know who I am. I'm just a giant blue hedgehog. And you're like, this is fine.
Hey, you came up with money to buy ice cream. It's whatever. They don't care.
No, you didn't. Chip just floated in and was like, ice cream. It's fucking garbage.
Oh, yeah, that first guy. You know, I will say about this game, I missed the super creepy foot fetish dude that gives you the shoes from Sonic 06.
Pardon?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's like
Visibly getting off when he wants to give you the shoes.
that very first level where you get your magic shoes, and he's like, whoa, could you try these shoes out? And you run through like 5 rings, and he's like, oh, that was perfect. You don't have to pay me for the shoes as long as I know someone's wearing them. Sonic 06 was such a miserable experience.
Can we be done?
Yeah, we can be done. Sonic, until next year, when there will be more crying. So, plugs, and stuff. You can email any questions, comments, concerns, ideas, thoughts, whatever you want. Just send us some emails at thebadgamecast@gmail.com. You want a more direct approach, you can send a tweet to @thebadgamecast. I'm on occasionally. It should blow up my phone, but sometimes it doesn't because my phone's weird. Normal things. Subreddit r/thebadgamecast, u/thebadgamecast for the account. Jake usually runs those.
I do.
He's gonna go argue with Sonic fans for another couple months. It's fine. You can find him doing that.
Tilting at windmills.
Yeah. What else are we supposed to do? Facebook page?
Facebook.
The Facebook page. Look, at this point, Facebook is selling all our information, so I should stop updating the Facebook page. I'll still probably update it occasionally when I remember. So, like, every quarter. It's fine.
It's fine.
Twitch.
Twitch, right. This is new year, new us. We're going to be streaming on Twitch. We will have a more official stuff set. I'll probably tweet about it, maybe set some stuff up.
Which is twitch.tv/thebadgamecast.
Surprise, right? That's going to be happening. It'll be a split between bad games and good games. as well as some other kind of stuff we have planned.
You can hit me up on Twitter at Jake Prey.
You can find me on Twitter at Freya Faust. I am sometimes a writer.
Sometimes.
Sometimes a writer. Sometimes a roller derby athlete. Sometimes
Tortured by Sonic.
tortured by Sonic.
Fucking lead us out, man.
Sure. For the Bad Gamecast, I've been Jason.
I've been Jake.
And I've been Alex.
Good night, everybody.